Insights channel, Steve here. Today I'm going to read to you from the Bible an amazing story from Numbers in the Old Testament. A story which I'm sure quite a few have already read before. But I'm going to show you what the Patriarchs said, Levi and Reuben and Judah in particular, because this story is about their descendants. And amazingly, the Patriarchs, all 12 of them, they all died round about 100, anywhere between 110 and 138. Levi dying 138. But when they died, they knew they were going to die, and they did something unusual, which they used to do in those days. They called all their descendants, up to like 4 generations, called them unto themselves, and they told them, or gave a prophecy of the future, what would happen to them, and what would be the future of their tribe and their nation, and what was spoken to them in the Patriarchs, in the Testament of the 12 Patriarchs. It all happened exactly like they said. It's actually fantastic. That's why these are really worth getting. Get hold of a book about the Testaments of the 12 Patriarchs, written by the Patriarchs themselves something like 3,700 years ago. Now I'm going to read you from the Bible now, and I'll interject a few verses from my book here, which is taken from the original Testaments of the 12 Patriarchs, which is written in Hebrew. So here's chapter 16 from Numbers in the Old Testament. This is from the King James Version of the Bible. Now Korah, the son of Ishar, the son of Kohath, son of Levi, and Dathan, and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, and On, and the son of Peleth, sons of Reuben. So it pegs them back to Levi and to Reuben in this case. These are those very same guys that stirred up a lot of trouble in the movie The 10 Commandments, and where the ground swallowed them up, causing a lot of trouble for Moses. And they rose up before Moses with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown, the big and the rich and the powerful and the royal family. And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron, and said unto them, You take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy, every one of them. The Lord is among them. Wherefore then you lift up yourselves above the congregation of the Lord? And when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face, and he spake unto Korah and unto all his company, saying, Even tomorrow the Lord will show who are his, and who is holy, and will cause him to come near unto him, even him whom he had chosen will he cause to come near unto him. This do, take ye census, Korah and all his company, put fire therein, and put incense in them before the Lord tomorrow, and it shall be that the man whom the Lord doth choose, he shall be holy. You take too much upon you, ye sons of Levi. And Moses said unto Korah, Hear, I pray you, ye sons of Levi. Seemeth it but a small thing unto you, that the God of Israel hath separated you from the congregation of Israel, to bring you near to himself, to do the service of the tabernacle of the Lord, and to stand before the congregation, to minister unto them? And he brought thee near to him, and all thy brethren, the sons of Levi, with thee, and seek ye the priesthood also? For which cause both thou and all thy company are gathered together against the Lord. What is Aaron, that you murmur against him? And Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, which said, We will not come up. It is a small thing that thou hast brought us up out of the land that floweth with milk and honey, to kill us in the wilderness, except thou make thyself altogether prince over us? Imagine how stupid that is, how devilish that is, how crazy that is. When you think what had just happened, that God had used Moses to open up the Red Sea and swallow up the whole army of the Egyptians, and before that had plagued Israel with 10 plagues. Now these people that knew those things, princes, the Levites, they were in utter rebellion against Moses. Thought they knew better. It's just shocking how they have no humility, just arrogance, pride. All they care about is position, power, money, influence over others. Just like it is today. So Moses is standing in awe there with Aaron, talking to them. Moreover, thou hast not brought us into the land that floweth with milk and honey. And this is the accusations against Moses. And Moses was very wroth, he's very angry. And he said unto the Lord, Respect not thou their offering. I have not taken one ass from them, neither have I hurt one of them. And Moses said unto Korah, Be thou and all thy company before the Lord, thou and they and Aaron tomorrow. And take every man his censer, put incense in them, and bring ye before the Lord every man his censer, 250 censers, thou also and Aaron, each of you his censer. And he took every man his censer, and put fire in them, and laid incense thereon, and stood in the door of the tabernacle of the congregation with Moses and Aaron. And Korah gathered all the congregation against them unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the glory of the Lord appeared unto all the congregation. And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, Separate ye yourselves from amongst this congregation, I may consume them in a moment. And they fell upon their faces, and said, O God of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin, and thou wilt be wroth with all the congregation? And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the congregation, saying, Get you up from about the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram. And Moses rose up, and went unto Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. And he spake unto the congregation, saying, Depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men. Touch nothing of theirs, lest ye be consumed in all their sins. So they got up from the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram on every side. And Dathan and Abiram came out, stood in the door of their tents, and their wives, and their sons, and their little children. And Moses said, Hereby ye shall know that the Lord hath sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of my own mind. If these men die the common death of all men, or if they be visited after the visitation of all men, then the Lord hath not sent me. But if the Lord make a new thing, and the earth open up and swallow them up, with all that pertaineth unto them, and they go down quick into the pit, then ye shall understand that these men have provoked the Most High. And it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground clave under sunder that was under them. And the earth opened her mouth, swallowed them up, and their houses, and all the men that had pertained unto Korah, and all their goods. They, all that pertaineth to them, went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed upon them, and they perished from among the congregation. And all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them. They said, Lest the earth swallow us up also. And there came out a fire from the Lord, and consumed the 250 men that offered incense. The Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, that he take up the censers out of the burning, and scatter thou the fire yonder, for they are hallowed. The censers of these sinners against their own souls, let them make them broad plates for covering of the altar, for they offer them before the Lord. Therefore they are hallowed, or holy. They should be a sign unto the children of Israel. And Eleazar the priest took the brazen censers wherewith they that were burnt had offered, and they were made broad plates for a covering of the altar, to be a memorial unto the children of Israel, that no stranger, which is not of the seed of Aaron, come near to offer incense before the Lord, that he be not as Korah, and not as his company, like Dathan, as the Lord said to him by the hand of Moses. Imagine this happening, all these people getting slain, and yet look at this. But the next morning, all the congregation and the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron, saying, Ye have killed the people of the Lord. In other words, meaning Levites and high priests and stuff, or their descendants. And it came to pass, when the congregation was gathered against Moses and against Aaron, that they looked towards the tabernacle of the congregation, and behold, the cloud covered it. The glory of the Lord appeared, and Moses and Aaron came before the tabernacle of the congregation. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Get you up from among this congregation, that I may consume them all in a moment. And they fell upon their faces. Moses said unto Aaron, Take a censer, put fire therein from off the altar, put on incense, and go quickly unto the congregation, make atonement for them, for his wrath gone out from the Lord, the plague is begun. And Aaron took as Moses commanded, and ran into the midst of the congregation, and behold, the plague was begun among the people. And he put on the incense, made atonement for the people. And he stood between the dead and the living, and the plague was stayed, or stopped. Now they that died in the plague were 14,700, besides them that died about the matter of Korah and Dathan. And Aaron returned unto Moses into the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the plague was stayed. I feel sorry for Moses. I think he had an almost impossible job dealing with those children of Israel. Almost impossible job. But he was faithful. Now I want to read to you out of my book here, Testaments of the 12 Patriarchs, which was written some couple hundred years before what we just read in Numbers. In Judah, imagine having to say this to your children, or great-grandchildren, or great-great-grandchildren, and predict that you, Judah, the two tribes that are most important were Judah, being the tribe for the kings that were to come, and Levi, tribe of the high priests. And both Levi and Judah predicted that the tribe of Levi would go totally astray, and Judah said the same thing too. Look what he said about his own tribe of Judah, the tribe of the kings, and how corrupt they'd become. He says this in Judah 4:15. Now I have much grief, my children, because of your lewdness and witchcrafts and idolatries, which ye shall practice against the kingdom, following them that have familiar spirits, diviners, and demons of error. And ye shall make your daughters singing girls and harlots, and ye shall mingle in with the abominations of the Gentiles. For which things' sake the Lord shall bring upon you famine, pestilence, death, and the sword, beleaguering by enemies and revilings of friends, etc. It's absolutely amazing. It must have been very devastating for the 12 patriarchs to know that the future of Israel was not a very nice picture. They knew there was some that would be obedient, and some kings would be good, but they also know there would be an incredible amount of wickedness. And even predicted in this book, Testaments of the 12 Patriarchs, at least 6 of the patriarchs talked about Jesus, talked about the coming Messiah. And they mentioned how he would be betrayed by his own people. And he also mentioned that Israel would get kicked out of their own country because of their wickedness and their adultery, and eventually, permanently, because of killing their own Messiah. It's all written here in this Hebrew book, Testaments of the 12 Patriarchs. So please do get my book, Testament of 12 Patriarchs, Insights. It's absolutely amazing how what the patriarchs predicted on their deathbed, it happened exactly as they said. They predicted a lot of things would happen. You've got to see these predictions of the 12 patriarchs. Absolutely incredible stuff. And you'll find that in my book, The Testaments of 12 Patriarchs, Insights, which I wrote about a year ago. This book's absolutely staggering, unbelievable, the amount of information in it. It's amazing how that they were originally, how Jacob was, and his father Isaac and Abraham, and the 12 patriarchs, sons of Jacob. They're amazing. Israel started off in a fantastic way, where they had a real spiritual insight, and they were in a big fight all their lives, but they stayed close to God. In spite of their mistakes, they weren't perfect, but they knew that they had to depend on God. And I think you would learn a lot by reading this book that includes a lot of Bible verses, a lot of cross-references, a lot of comments. Testaments to our Patriarchs Insights by S.N. Strutt. So, thanks for listening. Have a great day.